Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again for another guitar lesson. This time we're looking at a Derek Trucks inspired slide lick in the key of E. This lick is taken from my latest book, 100 Slide Licks for Blues Guitar. So if you do enjoy it, I would recommend that you check it out. So today I'm going to be playing my Telecaster, and this is tuned to open E tuning. I do recommend that you learn slide guitar, or at least begin learning slide guitar in an open tuning. Though, of course, once you've learned some vocabulary in those open tunings, try and adapt it for standard tuning as well, so you can pick up the slide and play whenever you want. So, as I say, open E tuning, so that means I've taken my standard tuned guitar and tuned it to that open E chord. I've tuned my A string up a tone to B, and I've tuned my D string up a tone to E. I've tuned my G string up a semitone to G sharp. So my guitar is tuned E, B, E, G sharp, B, E. This means that when I take my slide out and I play a barred position on the guitar, we're going to get those open chord sounds, which is a big part of slide vocabulary. So as I say, this is a Derek Trucks style lick in the key of E, and just before I teach it to you, it sounds like this. It's definitely a nice sounding lick, and largely based around that 12th fret area. So how do we do this? How are we going to execute this? Well, muting is a big part of slide, and this is something that you pick up with more and more experience on the instrument. We want to make sure, where possible, when you pluck a string, that you're using the fingers of the fretting hand to mute the other strings and to keep things nice and quiet. That's very important, actually, to get a nice, clean sound. So the first part of the lick requires that you go up to that 12th fret with your slide. Now let's just briefly talk about slide technique and how slide works. When you're playing with a slide, I'm using my Star Singer slide here. This is a ceramic slide. When you're playing slide, what you're doing is you're resting the slide on the actual strings, but you're not pressing down. It's just resting on the strings enough to essentially act like a fret. So when I place my slide on the string, and then I start moving it up, that's really acting like a moving fret. Killer licks, right? So that's how we're going to be executing this. Not using too much pressure with the slide, just pressing lightly on the string right over the 12th fret, right over that fret wire, because we want the note to be in tune. So we're going to hit that 12th fret, and we're going to slide down to the 10th fret. We then immediately jump up to the 12th fret on the G string, or G sharp string actually. As a classic slide lick, right? And then after hitting that 12th fret, we then hit that 10th fret on the B string again and slide back up to the 12th fret. So you get... There's the first part of your lick. We're then going to jump over to the 10th fret on the high E string. Hit the 12 and slide down to 10. Slide into 12 on the G string. And then hit 12 on the D string. Now, of course, I'm saying, D string, G string, relative to the tuning, of course. So that first part of that lick is going to sound like this, nice and slow. Now, if I don't mute effectively, and I just pluck the strings and let everything ring out, that's going to sound like this. Which is obviously a mess, and that's not really how we want this to sound. So when you're playing this, practice it nice and slowly, and make sure that you're not having much of those notes ringing into each other. And this is very much like kind of Dwayne Allman style as well, where we're playing around a 12th fret position and then using notes kind of 2 frets below where that, what I call home position is. The more Derek Trucks twist that we put on this is after playing that lick, we then play this. So we're sliding from 10 into 12 on the G string. We then hit 12 on the B string, which is our home position. We then slide that up a tone to the note C sharp. Now that's the 6th, so it gives it a kind of major pentatonic flavour. Then jumping back down to our 12th fret on the G string, sliding down, and then coming home to the 12th fret on the D string. So you get which is a nice sounding lick. Now the beauty of slide guitar is that you have the option to play these licks as quickly or as slowly as you want, and the slower you slide between these notes, the more yearning sound that you get. It's not like I'm going. It's very expressive, super cool. Now after hitting that, we just finished that little phrase with sliding from 12 down to 10 and then 12 on the A string. So again, this kind of 2 fret. Very slide, you know, very Dwayne Allman, like I say. So thus far we've got this. That might be considered the first half of the lick. Now to finish it off, we slide up to the 15th fret on the B string. Now here's where you have a little bit more of this kind of Derek Trucks linear playing lots of notes on a single string. We're going to slide to 15 and then slide down a semitone to 14. And then hit 12 and slide up to 14. So now, of course, you know, in E, that's our flat 7 of our E chord, so very bluesy. 15, 14, 12, 14. And then to finish that phrase, as you'd expect, 12 sliding down to 10 on the B string, 10 into 12 on the G, and then we're going to hit 12 on the D string to finish. Now if you want to add a little bit of spice onto the end, I'll come back to that 12th fret on the G string. So yeah, tons of expression that you can have with that lick. And now, of course, the beauty of slide guitar is that you can then move that to any key that you want or need to. If you're playing a song and it's got a C minor kind of groove to it, you've got that option to play that vocabulary wherever you need it. And that's the beauty of slide guitar and open tunings. Things become relatively easy to move around, and yeah, you can play these things in any key. So once you have done that, I would recommend that you throw your guitar into standard tuning and give that lick a go playing it in standard tuning. It will require a lot more moving around because you don't have a barred position where the slide fits. Instead, you're going to have this kind of mutated triad that you're playing around I should really put the slide back in my slide holder so I don't lose it. You'll have an actual triad that you're playing around, but that's absolutely fine, totally doable. So there you have it, guys. Relatively simple Derek Trucks style slide lick in open E tuning in the key of E. I do hope you enjoyed that one. And as always, if you have enjoyed that, you can be like the awesome people over here and check me out on Patreon. Link is in the description. I also now have a join button here on YouTube. You can join my VIP club on YouTube, which is another way to support the channel. And as usual, it gets you lots of stuff in return. Access to my private Facebook group where we talk about guitar all day long. And you can download transcriptions and all of that good stuff. So if that appeals to you, please do check that out. And of course, as I say, this lick is taken from my latest book. Here are a selection of some of my books, which you can all find on Amazon by searching for Levi Clay. Though my latest book, 100 Slide Licks for Blues Guitar, looks like that. And as I say, if you would like to check that out, there is a link in the description. So yeah, thank you very much. Now, finally, if you would like to check me out on Patreon, you can do so by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you will see 2 more of my videos here and here. Thanks so much for all the support, guys. And if you have any questions, let me know in that comment section below. Have a great day and get sliding. Laters.